Good morning. All right, well, we are off on an adventure today. And I don't think I'm going to make it out of here in one turn. This should do it. I am taking off all by myself, well, with Kit. And we are going back to Colorado Springs today. Why is that? Because my computer finally came in at Apple. So,
head south on Manchester Creek Road towards Skype.
it's a great campsite.
Continue on Manchester Creek Road for 5 miles.
That's right, slow down, dude. It's a great campsite, but this is Saturday, June the 28th. And this is very popular with off-road vehicles. So we have motorcycles, ATVs, side-by-sides blasting up and down the road. And then of course we also have all of the vehicles that are transporting them, including motorhomes and campers and trucks with trailers and all of that stuff, blasting up and down the road as well. This is kind of a staging area, but lots and lots of people have come past our camp. But they quiet down at night, so I mean, they've been done making noise typically by 9:30 or so at night. So not terrible. There comes another one. That's just a single motorcycle on the back of a car. And the vast majority of them are ripping past our camp, which is right by the roadway. But a few have the courtesy to slow down and not dust us out, so that's nice. All these spots on the windshield. We had a decent rainstorm last night about 9:30 or 10 o'clock. And so now all of the dust that had been deposited on Henry is now all spotted. Oh well. So much for having a bath a couple weeks ago. Guess I don't need to do that for another year. So we got about, Google says 41 miles, 53 minutes to get to the Apple Store. So we're going to stop at the Apple Store, and we're going to stop at a PetSmart and hopefully get his nails trimmed this time. And another big bump. And then I've got an Amazon locker I'm going to stop at in Woodland Park, which is only about 10 minutes away from here. I was going to do the locker first, but it's on the opposite side of the road and it's a divided highway, so I'd have to go down, make a U-turn, come back up, go further up, make another U-turn, and head back down again to be on my way. So we'll just do that on the way back. That'll be fine. So as I said, today is Saturday, June the 28th. It is 9:14 in the morning. Apple Store opens at 10. I should be there just after they open. Current temperature is about 67 degrees, and we are currently at 9,039 feet in elevation. Our camp is at about 90-50, I think. So, a little tough on the breathing for the hiking. Went on a hike yesterday. Started down a trail, which is closed to motorized traffic. Went down a really steep decline to a ravine at the bottom, up a really steep incline to the other side, hiked over to another one on the same trail that was even steeper in both directions, and said, yeah, I think let's just go through the woods, get out to the road, and we'll just walk on the road. Well, as it turns out, I went through the woods, and facing the woods behind our campsite, we'd gone onto the trail on the right-hand side of our campsite, came out of the woods on the left-hand side of our campsite, but we were still within our campsite. I thought we had moved way further away from our campsite than that based on the amount of hiking I'd done, but whatever. Ended up having actually a very nice hike. Did a little bit of the roadway and some of the trail on the opposite side of the road. Got some nice views. plenty of exercise, all the good stuff. So there's that. Alright, I think that's enough jabbering. I got a 30-mile-an-hour road for a few miles, and then we're gonna try and pound these miles out as quickly as we can. Hope there's not construction delays on Saturday, which in some ways makes me grateful for having had to wait until the weekend. And I'm expecting a FedEx package from Camping World to be delivered to Walgreens via FedEx in Woodland Park. I sent the email back to her yesterday but didn't get a response, so best case it'll go out Monday and get here Tuesday. I hope there's not another delay. But we'll find out. Okay, we're gonna get on down the road a bit.
Wake up with the sun in our eyes. Sally forth, no need for goodbyes. Journey calls, let's roll the dice. Every mile a new surprise.
Mission accomplished at Apple. Now all I got to do is figure out how to get out of this parking lot. Which isn't going to be super easy. So I've got a brand new MacBook Pro and it looks super cool. Speaking of super cool,
Head northwest.
I also did a demo on their Apple Vision Pro. And let me tell you how cool that is. That is also super cool. My house has the turning radius of a house. Yeah, so I think I'm going to be saving up for one of those in a year or so. They're still in the original iteration of it. So it's an M2 chip instead of an M4 chip. But on the other hand, if I decide I've got enough discretionary income, I might do it sooner rather than later because it integrates directly with my MacBook, which means that I can edit video and everything like up in front of me. Now, it costs $3,500 for the unit. Our next stop is going to be PetSmart, and we're going to hope we get lucky, right, Kit? We're going to hope we get lucky. We're going to get lucky by giving you the hookup first. There we go. There we go. You did good while I was in there, didn't you? And it's now 11:18, so I was in there for almost an hour. But I've done all the initial setup on the new MacBook and got the whole demo on the Vision Pro, and had to look at new iPads while I was there because that's going to need to be replaced sometime in the not terribly distant future. We are 2 miles away from PetSmart, and so far I have to say getting around this end of town, the very north end, is much easier than getting around the south end of town was. So I'm hopeful that we're going to be able to get his toenails cut this morning. And then we're going to go run by the Sam's Club that's up here, fuel up again because I've driven, it'll be like 85 miles. If I went all the way back to camp, it would be over 100 miles since I got fuel. So I'm going to go ahead and fuel up while I'm here, and then Barb and I will be on the same fuel level status at that point. And if Sam's doesn't look outrageously busy, I might run in and grab Vital Proteins. Actually, I might do it anyway because I can do scan and go and get right back out of there. New York plate in front of us. Okay, I'm not looking forward to the drive back up the road, but you know, it'll be what it'll be. And the new MacBook, by the way, MacBook Pro, this is a 16-inch. It's bigger and heavier than my 15-inch. Has a 24-hour battery life according to its specs. So theoretically, I should be able to use it all day long and then let it charge up in the morning when I turn the power back on, and then use it all day long, which will be super cool. And I got the nano texture display, so it should be perfectly readable outdoors in bright sunlight. Wow. The display is awesome. PetSmart, I see the sign. You ready to go to PetSmart? Think we're gonna get lucky, kid? Alright, we're gonna get in here and get parked and see what happens. There he is. There he is, getting his nails trimmed. Finally, we have success. What a good boy he is. Sitting still, being good. And after the experience we had at the south end of town a couple of days ago, and he's overdue. So this is going to be better all the way around. What a good boy. Okay, so we are all done with PetSmart. Yay! I'm trying to figure out how to get out of this parking lot now. And you did really well, didn't you? And now your nails are all nice and trimmed, and your paws are trimmed, your ears were cleaned, and you got a sani cut. And guess what I bought for you? I bought you a brand new little tag. I did. So this will be the last stop in the Springs at Sam's Club. And then from here we're going to head back up to camp. We got to stop at the Ulta and pick up my Amazon locker order on the way back. Yeah. So glad we could get you trimmed finally. Those nails were getting awfully long. You were a good boy, weren't you? You were a good boy. You got your ears cleaned. Yeah. Guess I better wait for all these cars, huh? Okay. Going to be very glad to get back to camp. Oh, there's another Natural Grocers. Okay, so I just wandered around in Harbor Freight, and I thought, oh, I could pick up wrenches here. I don't need to get a whole toolkit. So I bought two sets of wrenches, and I came out to put them in the drawer that holds my tools inside. And then I realized I had already done that some time ago and completely forgotten about it. So I went back and took them back. So there we go. So we're going to Sam's Club next. We're going to get, big hole there. Going to get fuel first. Okay, well my peopling time is expired. I couldn't stand waiting in line for gas, so I'm not doing that. And basically I am ready to get out of here.
Head northwest toward East Woodman Road.
I was going to go over to Home Depot, but I'm not. So the only thing I have to do is stop and pick up my Amazon locker order. And that's what I'm going to do. So, and while I was in Sam's, I got a piece of pizza. I ate about half of it. And I threw the, well, I didn't throw the rest away. I threw the rest in the refrigerator. And then I cut up an apple to eat on my way back. So we still have slower than usual traffic. I'm hoping that's just in this section right here and not all the way back up 24 again, because that was crazy miserable. But I got the thing that I forgot to get at Sam's Club the other day, so I'm glad I did that, because I don't know when we'll be near another Sam's Club. Hi, Kit. We don't know, do we? And now I'm anxious to get home and start working on my new computer. So Google says 24 miles and 35 minutes. So not terrible. Not nearly as terrible as it was a couple days ago. So I'll pick you up when we see something really interesting or get to our next destination. All right, we're gonna hop up on the freeway. I think we get about 10 miles of that before we run into 24, and hopefully that's not going to be super slow. So we'll see. This is quite the contrast to when we came up here a couple of days ago, and it was all stop and go, mostly stop. But today it's smooth sailing. We had a couple of little slowdowns on I-25. Well, no, actually on US 24 shortly after we got off of I-25. And yeah, this is so far so good, piece of cake. Interestingly, the temperature in town when we got off the I-25 freeway was 93 degrees. We are now up to 6,900 feet and down to 85 degrees. So we're making progress. And I am really looking forward to getting back up the hill to our camp. One more stop and then we're done. And it's kind of like we're in monsoon season. You know, it rained last night, it rained the day before yesterday a little bit. And we definitely have this mixed overcast and sun thing going on. So, I don't know. Mission accomplished. This Amazon locker is inside the convenience store. That's kind of unusual.
Did you say got the sack? Nice to jolly Peter.
Usually they're on the outside. But we picked up our package, we're good to go. We got about 15 miles to get back to camp. The sun's coming out, it's a beautiful afternoon. Well, we're almost back, because here's the ATV staging area with lots of people still in it. So what do you think, Kit? You ready to go back and see your friends? A lot of people staged here. Which is kind of better than taking up all of the camping access. Well, I think they've definitely torn the road up some today. But that's okay. Not terrible. And here's our camp right up here. So all I have to do is back in. Oh, we've got somebody in our camp riding. We got a whole bunch of people parked up there. Awesome sauce.
Wake up with the sun in our eyes. Sally forth, no need for good.
Okay, Kit.